When you look at the Packers, you think of this team as a good team, but not a great team, which is what they are and what the whole 2025 season was for them. The quarterback was good, but not great. The coaching was good, but not great. And overall, that's basically what they are and what a lot of their important pieces on the team is. A lot of people say this team is pretty close. Like, oh, they're so close, they just need to add him or just add him. I don't see that. I don't think they're as close as what people say they are, and I honestly could see them missing the playoffs next year. The NFC North is still tough. The Vikings are kind of questionable, but the Lions are still good. Maybe not as good as 15-2, like they did last year. They'll probably not be as good as that, but they'll still probably be good. The Bears I could definitely see them being better. They've been known to blow it up all the time and just screw things up, but they might have finally gotten it right. They're making all the right moves, it seems like. And then you got the Packers who have glaring issues. A lot of people say they're close, but they've got glaring issues like, lack of offensive line depth. Like, if one of them gets injured, it's over. Wide receivers were overrated this year. Quarterback wasn't as good. Cornerbacks is going to be pretty thin with Jair Alexander leaving, and the defensive line was underwhelming this year. So they're going to have to hit at least on some of these draft picks, and even then, even if they do, there's still probably going to be a couple holes left to patch, and then you got Jordan Love who needs to be good, and I just don't see them improving enough to be a great team. And you look at some of the important positions on this team. Jordan Love, he's good but not great. Like, he's a tier 2 quarterback. Tier 1, I would say, is four quarterbacks. It's Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, and Jackson. Tier 2 is like the quarterbacks who can take an average team to the playoffs, but cannot do anything in the playoffs. So, Prescott, Tua, something like that. And honestly, you could probably argue if you wanted to make an argument that he's in the tier 3 of quarterbacks. Tier 2, I would say, is they can lead an average team to the playoffs, but they would need a stacked team to get to the Super Bowl. And tier 3 would be like they need a stacked team just to get to the playoffs. And I think Jordan Love is at tier 2. The coach, Matt LaFleur, I think he's a good coach, but not a great coach. A lot of people praise Matt LaFleur and say he's so great and all that, and he is good, but is he really elite? Like, wouldn't he have won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? And if you remember, especially the Buccaneers championship game and the 49ers playoff game after that, he didn't coach very well in those games. So, do you really trust him in big situations? And you've seen it this year. Like, this year, I don't think was his best year coaching. Um, like, at times, it's like, what are you doing? Like, he never gets challenges right. Um, and remember, during the Texans game, on an important third down, he calls an end around that goes for like a loss of 4. It's like, what are you doing? And then later in the game, they were like down 14-19, um, and they got a touchdown. And instead of going for 2, they kicked the extra point to go up 21-19, which almost cost them the game by doing that, but they did end up winning. And then you had the second Bears game where he calls a timeout so the Bears can save their timeout, one of their timeouts, before they kick it, and then the Bears go down. It helps the Bears go down, score, kick a field goal in the second Bears game to win. So he kind of gave that game away. And then there's just been times where like situational, like not involving Jaden Reed. Like, I know he's not a number 1 technically, but he's the best receiver you got on the team, and you're not going to involve him. Like get him involved. Like, what are you doing? It's just like, do you trust him in important situations and trust him to get you to the promised land, I'm not sure. I could easily see him being looked back upon as overrated, like Mike McCarthy was. Like I could see that happening with LaFleur. And Brian Gutekunst, you do have to give credit. He has done a better job in the last couple of years of drafting, and especially what he did in free agency last season. But at the same time, I wouldn't consider him top tier either. Like, um, has he drafted anybody that you would consider a superstar? Like, no. Like maybe Jair Alexander, but he can't stay healthy and he's gonna be gone. Um, who else? Like maybe Edgerrin Cooper, but it's only his first year, so it's kind of early to tell. So yeah, just not sure about Brian Gutekunst as a GM overall, and that's what's kind of been the Packers' important positions. GM, head coach, quarterback. They're good, but they're not great, and that's pretty much the story of this team. And being good enough is more important than being good. And right now, they're not good enough to go on a Super Bowl run. And like I said, I could honestly see them missing the playoffs. And you look at this past year, the Packers this year were kind of like the Cowboys of 2023. Like they were frauds and didn't beat anybody good. Same thing with the Packers this year. They were kind of like the Cowboys of 2023, or like the Dolphins of 2023. Also beat nobody good, got to the playoffs, got destroyed. So yeah, and Jordan Love, I don't know. Like I could see him honestly being the next Dak Prescott or Tua, and if I had to guess, that's what I would say he is, honestly. A little too early to be for sure, but that's what it looks like. Two of his three playoff games he wasn't good in, and the one good one he did play in, there was a lot of wide open receivers in that game, the Cowboys game. He definitely got a lot of help from the receivers being open all the time. Aaron Jones played good in that game. Cowboys defense was bad, so maybe that was a big reason why they won that game. So, and the receiving room, hopefully one of them can step up, but we thought that was going to happen this last year and it didn't. And they need a number one, and they don't have it right now. And we'll see what they do in the draft. We'll see who they'll miss on in round one. They'll probably draft some, bust or just an injury prone player. Seems like they always miss on round one picks. They try to get cute on some of these, and it ends up being a failure. We'll see who they'll get in the mid rounds that ends up being good. I don't think this team is as close as what people say they are. I could honestly see it going downhill from here. The vibes with the whole number one receiver and Jacob saying that, like this could be some cracks in the foundation, so to speak, and it could end up leading to something bad. But right now, I'm just not sold on this team, and I'm just saying like I could honestly see this whole Gutekunst, Love, LaFleur trio end up being a failure, and I just don't think that they're as great as what everybody says they are. And we'll see if they make the right moves and if they step up. But right now they're not good enough right now.